Okay, good evening, everyone. It's Thursday, August the 9th. Welcome to the Marion City Council regular meeting. We have a few things tonight, an oath of office, a proclamation, a bunch of public hearings, but let us begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, roll call, please.
Mr. Draper?
Here.
Ms. Etzel? Mr. Jensen?
Present.
Mayor Aboasley? Ms. Gedalia?
Here.
Mr. Brandt?
Here.
Mr. Sternad?
Present.
Okay, and at this time, we'll have a moment of silence, please. Okay, thank you. Next, we have an exciting event. I described this to the chief when I spoke with him last as it's like bringing someone into the family. We have an oath of office for Police Officer Jacob Pisaric. Okay, so Chief, let me know when to come down. I'll let you do your thing. Right now? Okay.
Good afternoon. Sean McHale, Chief of Police of Marion. I'm here tonight to introduce Jake Pisaric as the newest member of the Marion Police Department. Jake comes to us from Mount Vernon, Iowa, where he was a 4-year athlete at Mount Vernon. Upon graduation from high school, he attended Wartburg College, where he played football. He was a major in business, technology, and leadership. Office there for 3 years. Older siblings.
All right, so with me tonight, I have my dad and my mom, Nancy, and Ron.
Allow us to have your son. Honored to bring Jake into our family tonight. In the next weeks, he'll be traveling to Des Moines, where he'll spend the next 4 months receiving his certifications from the Iowa Law Enforcement Academy. In fact, he's still got about 13 weeks of the field training officer here at Marion PD. So, without further delay, it is my humble privilege to request that Mayor Pro Tem office to Jake Pisaric.
These are from Los. Bear with me.
I, Jacob Pisaric,
Do
solemnly swear
that I will support
that I live in Marion, Iowa. And that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the
best of my ability, discharge all the duties office of police officer
in the city
of Marion, Iowa,
as
now or hereafter as required by law. Thank you.
Should I let them speak first and then I'll do the proclamation? Okay. Terrific. Okay. Whereas Lynn County Veteran Affairs, in partnership with the Cedar Rapids Metro Area Veterans Council, the Iowa City VA Medical Center, and the Lynn County Continuum of Care will hold Lynn County's 13th annual stand down for homeless and near homeless veterans and non-veterans. And whereas stand down is a term used in times of war in which exhausted combat units come off the battlefield to rest and recover in a place of safety. And whereas, according to the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, the first stand down was organized in 1988 by a group of Vietnam veterans in San Diego. And whereas today, stand down also refers to a community-based program that provides and assists homeless and near homeless veterans transition to community living by providing access to human service agencies, including benefits counseling, Social Security and veterans, employment and training assistance, eye exam screenings, health care screenings, housing services, legal assistance, mental and health treatment, and substance abuse counseling. And whereas stand-downs have been used as an effective tool in reaching out to homeless veterans, nationally reaching more than 200,000 veterans and their family members. Now, therefore, I, Renee Gedalia, Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Marion, Iowa, do hereby proclaim September 7th, 2018 as the 13th annual 5-season stand-down day and encourage residents to recognize the positive impacts of this event to assist veterans and to express gratitude to those who have served and continue to serve. Let me give this to you. I believe I present this. Do I present this now? Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here tonight. And if you'd like to say a few words.
We would. On behalf of the 5-season stand-down committee, I wish to express our gratitude for your support on the 13th annual stand-down event scheduled for Friday, September 7th at Veterans Memorial Stadium. This event connects homeless or nearly homeless veterans and non-veterans to services that assist them in transitioning to community living. We would not be able to provide this opportunity without the continued support of community members. We thank you for yours.
Okay, moving on to the consent calendar.
I have the consent calendar. Did anyone have anything to be pulled since I was late and didn't discuss that?
No, we didn't discuss it.
Make a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented, which would be items 1 through 28. That include resolutions 27041 through 27066.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Will and a second by Randy. Any discussion? I'd like to point out item 4 and just say congratulations to all of the officers listed for achieving the eligibility status for the civil service list for sergeant and police lieutenant. And then I had a quick question on 9. What did I have here? Oh yeah, this is just a logistics thing, Mike. If we don't get the funding for the mini roundabout that was discussed Tuesday, it comes back for discussion about which plan A or B or C that we want to go through?
Correct. So if we don't do the roundabout, we either need to find local funding to pay for the roundabout, or there's $50,000 to $60,000 worth of improvements we need to make to the hardware at that signal.
Okay, thank you. Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Okay, seeing none. Move on to public services.
I would like to make a motion to receive, file, and refer to Public Services Board's correspondence regarding storage of donated railroad items. This will be Marion Historical Society at 590 10th Street.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Randy and a second by Steve. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 I heard everybody's aye. All right, next, engineering.
Yes, Your Honor, I would move approval of Resolution 27,067, approving a contract with Martin Gardner in the amount not to exceed $8,000 regarding the assessment of 525 11th Street.
Second.
Okay, a motion by Paul and a second by Will. Any discussion or questions? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed or abstentions? Okay. On to community development. We have a number of public hearings here. This first one is regarding a request to vacate the alley between 345/355 and 375 6th Avenue in Marion, Lynn County, Iowa, Shaw. At this time, I will open the public hearing. If anyone would like to come up and speak in favor, please come up and state your name and address for the record.
Good evening.
Hi.
My name is Pete Shaw. I just purchased the property last year, and we've been doing some improvements to it. When I bought the property, I thought the fence line was the property line, just because the grass was all grown in there. And then we were doing things and talking to the building department. They had mentioned where my property line was and said that there was a way for me to vacate it and take that over if I went through the right steps. And that's why I'm here. I appreciate you guys taking your time to listen to me. We've done a lot of work to the place and made what I feel a nice improvement to the neighborhood, and we continue to plan on doing that. So.
Right.
Is that all you need from me?
Anyone have anything for Pete? Okay. No, thanks for being
I'd
here.
like to put a garage up. We're not sure exactly what, but we'll see down the road. I'll do whatever I need to do as that comes up.
Terrific. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for being here on behalf of your application. Anyone else in favor? Anyone to speak against this vacation? Okay, we'll close the public hearing.
Yeah, Your Honor, I've got resolution number 27068 approving a request to vacate the alley between 345, 355, and 375 6th Avenue, Marion, Lynn County, I, for Shaw.
Second.
Okay, a motion by Steve and a second by Paul. Questions or discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor of resolution number 27068, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed or abstentions? Seeing none. Moving on to the next public hearing. This is on a proposed disposition of a portion of public property described as the alley between 345/355 and 375 6th Avenue, Marion, Lynn County, Iowa, Shaw. We'll open the public hearing.
Sure, is this something different? Do you,
Would you just state your name and address so the
my
record
name
has
is
you?
Pete Shaw. I own the property at 345 6th Avenue in Marion.
Tom, could you just describe the difference between this and the previous one?
So as you'll see, there's a number of public hearings this evening. The way that this works, because we're disposing of city-owned property, there's a public hearing on the request to vacate it because it's public right-of-way. This is the actual public hearing on the disposition of publicly owned property. So That's why there's two for each one of these. So it's procedurally, from a legal perspective, how we need to proceed with the disposal of city-owned property. So that's why you'll see the redundancy in the hearing.
So the first one is to vacate it, the second one is to dispose of it and actually sell it to you then?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'd like to buy it.
So 2 steps. 2 steps. There you go. That's what we need.
Excellent.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Anyone else want to come up and speak on this disposition? Okay, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing.
Make a motion to approve resolution number 27069, approving disposition of a portion of public property described as the alley between 345 and 355 and 375 6th Avenue, Marion, Lynn County, Iowa. Shaw.
Second.
Okay, a motion by Will and a second by Steve. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Seeing none, we are moving on to the next public hearing. This one's regarding a request to vacate the alley between 321/335 10th Street and 308/340 11th Street, Marion, Lynn County, Iowa. Vorobstov, public hearing is now open. If anyone would like to come and speak in favor of this request to vacate, you can come up at this time and state your name and address for the record, please.
Vadim Vorobtsov over 321 10th Street, and I'm here with my wife Rebecca with the original applicants. And we just learned early this year about the opportunity that we can enhance a bit our area. And similarly, unused grassy, the part of alley, that's the grass that we've been maintaining. And we just learned that it's possible for us to purchase it maybe. And if you guys approve, we'll buy it right away, of course.
Okay.
I just want to say thank you for considering our application.
You're welcome. Thanks for taking care of it. Anyone else to speak in favor of the request to vacate? Anyone opposed? Okay, seeing none, the public hearing is closed.
Your Honor, I make a motion to approve resolution number 27070, approving a request to vacate the alley between 321, 335 10th Street and 308, 340th 11th Street, Marion, Lynn County, Iowa. Vorobskov.
Second.
Okay, motion by Randy and a second by Will. Any questions? None. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? None. Resolution number 27070 passes. Moving on to the next public hearing. This is on the proposed disposition of a portion of public property described as the alley between 321 10th Street and 308 11th Street, Marion, Lynn County, Iowa. Vorobstov. Public hearing is now open. If anyone would like to speak in favor, please come up. Anyone care to speak against? Okay, seeing none, public hearing is closed.
Oh, hello. Your Honor, I have Resolution 27071, approving the disposition of a portion of public property described as an alley between 321 10th and 308 11th Street, Marion, Iowa.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Paul and a second by Steve for Resolution 27071. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Seeing none, we're moving on to item 9, which is a public hearing on the proposed disposition of a portion of public property described as the alley between 335 10th Street and 340 11th Street, Marion, Iowa. Bice? The public hearing is now open. Would anyone like to come up and speak in favor? Anyone want to come up and speak against? Okay, seeing none, Public hearing is now closed.
Your Honor, I've got resolution number 27072, approving disposition of a portion of public property described as the alley between 335 10th Street and 340 11th Street, Marion, Iowa, Vice.
Second.
A motion by Steve and a second by Paul. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of resolution number 27072, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Okay, motion passes.
Your Honor, I have, make a motion to approve resolution 27073, approving the Landher Third Edition preliminary plat for property located at 180 Boyson Road. Christopher Landher.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion by Will and a second by Randy. Any discussion or questions? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor of resolution number 27073, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? Motion passes.
Your Honor, could I interject here?
Sure.
Just before we lose any of you folks that would happen to leave, I want to thank you for taking these opportunities to reinvest in your property and purchasing these additional alleys back into your primary residencies. That shows the strength of our community. You're willing to reinvest. Thank you for that, and thanks for being part of our community. So we as well would like to thank you in return. So thank you.
I'd like to thank you back, because through all this that I've been dealing with the whole city of Marion, it's been a pleasure to deal with.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. At this time, we have another public hearing regarding revisions to Chapter 176 Marion zoning ordinance by removing and replacing current Chapter 176.06 rules and definitions to include new and updated definitions. Public hearing is now open. If anyone would like to come and speak in favor or ask any questions, now is that time. Does anyone want to speak against? We are going to actually leave this public hearing open until at least the next meeting because these documents are pretty lengthy and we want to give the public time to read through them. So I'm not going to close the public hearing, we're just going to continue it. But we are going to move on to item 13, which is another public hearing regarding revisions to Chapter 176 Marion zoning ordinance by removing and replacing Chapter 176.33 non-conforming uses, buildings and structures updated with updated provisions and language. Public hearing is now open. If anyone would like to come up and speak in favor of these changes. Or if anyone has any questions or wants to speak against the changes, now is that time. Okay, like the last one, we're going to leave this one open and continue it through at least until the meeting on the 23rd. So I'm going to move on to item 14, which is, you guessed it, another public hearing regarding amendment to Chapter 176 Marion zoning ordinance, updating Chapter 176.04, establishment of districts and map to include new zoning district classifications, and establishing Chapter 176.51, new zoning district classifications. This public hearing is now open. If anyone would like to come up and speak in favor, please come up at this time. Anyone wants to ask questions or speak against this? Now is your chance. Okay, seeing none, this is the trifecta of continuations on public hearings for the evening. We're going to leave this one open until the 23rd, at least until that point. So we will move on to item 15.
Yes, Your Honor, I would like to make a motion to receive and file email correspondence from Darrell High with High Properties requesting no action being taken on Resolution 27007.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Randy and a second by Will. Any discussion? Okay, Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Okay. Oh, now I see your note, Rachel, sorry. So we can skip 16, is that true? Is there any need to read 16?
No, you can strike it from the agenda.
Okay. Item number 17 is a public hearing regarding amendment to the Master Trails Plan Map. At this time, anyone who would like to come up and speak in favor of this amendment, please do so at this time. Does anyone have any questions or wish to speak against the amendment? Okay, seeing none, we're going to close this public hearing. Paul?
Boy, public hearing, you're wearing out the gavel, man.
I know.
I have resolution 27,074, approving an amendment to the Master Trail Plan Map.
Second.
Okay, a motion by Paul and a second by Will. Any discussion?
I think it'd be good just for the public to know and be reminded that the reason we have these updates to the Master Trails Plan Map is to continue to show in the future where trails may be, so that connectivity is going to be there and shown in the future, but also where potential future trails may be. It also helps the developers know that the city has intended a trail maybe in the area where they may be developing, and so then the city can work with them to coordinate that effort. So this is really kind of not only what's happening today, but futuristic on where future trails may be and trying to keep ahead of the game and where they should be.
Thank you, Steve. And for those of you this might be your first council meeting, on Tuesdays when we have the work session is when we generally go do the deep dives into the content we're talking about tonight. So we have really had a lot of discussion and deliberation on these items that we're kind of going through quickly this evening. And the audio is always available to you if you wish to hear what it is that we talked about before that you're hearing about tonight. So all of those in favor of resolution number 27074, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Okay.
Next, I've got resolution number 27075, approving a final plat and memorandum of agreement for the Commons at English Glen, 4th Edition, located north of 29th Avenue and west of Winchester Drive, and this is Robson Home, Inc.
Second.
Okay, a motion by Steve and a second by Will. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor of resolution number 27075, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Okay.
Your Honor, I make a motion to approve resolution number 27076, setting a public hearing for August 23rd, 2018, and directing publication of notice of hearing on vacation and proposed disposition of portion of public property described as the south 120 feet of the north-south alley between 631 6th Avenue and 610 to 630 10th Street, Marion, Iowa. Paul A. Draper and Carolyn Draper, Revocable Trust.
Second.
A motion by Will and a second by Steve. Any discussion? Okay.
Yeah, I know you're thinking about it. But
Okay, seeing none, all those in favor of resolution number 27076, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions?
I would abstain from that. Thank you.
Okay.
Good thing we had 4 others.
I know.
Your Honor, I have the final resolution. This will be making a motion to approve resolution number 27077, approving a partial deferral of installation of the south 75 feet of sidewalk adjacent to Downing Farm, 1st Edition, along Alburnett Road.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Randy and a second by Will. We'll get to discussion in a moment, but Tom, did you want to interject?
Yes, in conversation with the representative of Scenic Development and the Downing Farms First Edition property owner. They've requested this could be tabled to the next agenda. They'd just like an opportunity to address the council as a part of their request. So we received and filed it. It's on the consent calendar, and so the action's coming. They're actually out of Kansas City, I believe. So anyway, that was a request that came in today.
That's fine.
Okay. So do we need to vote on this and then make a motion for a table if someone's so...
No, you do a motion to table before you take action, so that would, yep.
Bueller?
Yeah, so moved.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Randy and a second by Steve to table resolution number 27077 until the next meeting, I believe, 23rd. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstentions? Okay. So, Lon, do we need to do anything with the last motion and second, or does this override that?
Nope, that'll stay open until you can act on it when it's removed from the table on the 23rd.
Terrific. Okay, there's nothing in administration, so at this point of the evening, it's time for any citizens' presentations, comments, petitions, transmittals, referrals, you name it. It's only 6:03, so the mic is yours. Let us know what is on your mind, if anything. Please come up and state your name and address for the record if you have anything. I knew we'd get somebody.
Joseph Jess, 975 18th Street, Marion. First meeting here. Just curious as to what it would entail to maybe get a allowance for golf cart use in the city of Marion. I read that it was just for disabled people can have, as they have been approved. But I was wondering, just curious, what would entail? Would I have to make a motion, or would I have to go get a petition? Like, what would I need to maybe bring that to the table?
Is this for business? Is this for your personal
Just
use?
for recreational use.
On the streets?
Yes.
I have no idea.
What do we have currently? I have no idea that you could use it
maybe
anywhere.
You even can already.
I had read where you had to have, if you have a disability, you could use it, but other than having a disability, you couldn't use a golf cart. You know, a lot of smaller towns have been, bringing that up and putting slow moving vehicle stickers on and flags and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they do have restrictions, no main avenues or something like that. But like I said, I'm just curious as to what would need to be done to maybe put that in motion to, for recreational use of golf carts or slow-moving vehicles in the city of Marion.
The simplest way to do it, if the council has an interest in it, would be for the next meeting, we'd put a motion that would refer that request over to TAC. I think the Traffic Advisory Committee would probably be the most appropriate group to review that request and then bring a recommendation back to council, because that touches planning, law enforcement, engineering, everybody, and they could bring a recommendation back.
That sounds like a great idea. I don't see the harm in asking for at least them to study it. Is everyone okay with directing staff to look into that?
Didn't this come up a year or two ago?
Well, it's been discussed, but my recollection was it was discussed in the context of trails. That we had been approached by someone who wanted us to look at potentially opening the trail system up to golf carts and similar vehicles.
Okay, so we'll ask that an item be put on the agenda for us to formally request that TAC take a look at this. And how do we let Joseph know what's decided? I mean,
as long as we have contact information, so if we can get one of these yellow cards filled out, then we'll.
Okay. All right, thank
you very much.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me about that like 2 days ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Just so you're aware, any TAC item, when we present those items to you guys, we let the petitioners know that this will be presented at council. So they're always made aware that if they agree or disagree with TAC, they can come and represent them.
Okay, so you will be notified when this gets through all the hoops. All right, sure. Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to bring it back up here for council discussion time. Randy, do you have anything?
Thank you. I just had a couple quick things here. I just wanted to bring the attention again to our wonderful Wes Nelson will be retiring, and again, too, just an open house will be up here at City Hall on August 16th from 3:30 to 5 p.m. If anybody can attend, and everyone is invited, we would love to have you up here with us for that celebration. As well, too, I just wanted to, again, too, there was a media release that was sent out on the 1st, again, announcing that Marion was named the All-Star Community Award recipient, which is awarded by the Iowa League of Cities. So, again, too, this is just a sign of the commitment on our staff, our citizens, our everybody that touches these particular projects that brings us to these levels. It's very exciting to see this. I will be attending the league. I believe it's called the conference. It's going to be over in Sioux City at the end of the month, so I'm very excited about attending that. That's a 3-day conference over there to gain more knowledge about some of these things that are going on too. So again, too, kudos to all of our staff that have gotten us to that level. So what a great recognition to be receiving. So I just wanted to bring that up. So thank you.
Will?
I think I would just kind of comment about this, that it's hitting that time of year where all of us need to be showing a lot of patience, not only for all of the road construction projects that are going on everywhere. It seems like every time you make a turn, you're running into something, but also for the fact that in 2 more weeks, all of our beloved children get to go back to school. So that's going to increase the traffic, and so we need to be aware of that as well. So some are excited. I got a couple granddaughters excited about that, and a few that aren't. But anyway, I know the parents are glad they're going back to school. Anyway, so show a little more patience a couple weeks out.
Okay, I'm actually going to go next. I'm going to let Paul close the show tonight. I would just like to, what did I want to write? Oh, yeah. So I think this Saturday is the last Marion, the market, the big soiree on the square. Well, for the summer ones. All right. So, and we're having council hours at the on the square this Saturday instead of the library. So, come see us there. I was reading in the Mount Vernon, whatever their publication is. They have a 1 day a year, or maybe it's a weekend a year, where it's a community garage sale. I thought that was kind of a neat idea. I don't know if we're too big for something like that, but that seemed kind of neat and kitschy and something to consider. And then just wanted to request that it seems like we're doing some really cool citywide community things, and they sometimes happen when we have council meetings, whether it's a work session or public. So if any of those things can ever be avoided so that we can go to those, it stinks missing some of the really neat stuff that we have for the community. It'd be nice to be able to be there. So when we can, I realize there are a lot of competing calendar dates and schedules, but there are a couple things that I think we're going to miss because we're here. I wanted to just mention that. And that is all I have. So, Paul, take it away.
All right. I just have a couple items tonight. One is that last week we moved the house down 7th Avenue, which was a pretty exciting day. Well, I got wondering where that house come from. And if we look at the brick building at 1325 8th Avenue, that building was built in 1882, and it stayed in one family for 70 years. And as it moved forward in its life, and that building, by the way, is a French style similar to 610 10th Street with a Mansford roof, and it's a very similar. Those two buildings are the only two like it. But as the building moved forward, it was bought and changed hands in 1917 to another family who lived there till 1943. But the interesting thing about this house that we saw in the paper this week that moved was that it was built, Dr. Young bought that property in 1948, and he built that house to live in behind or beside his other house. He had apartments upstairs in the house, and he had his offices downstairs. So he moved from his apartment upstairs to this new modern house that he built right next to the brick house, which on Pucker Street probably should have never been built there, but it's gone now, and it's a good thing because it's between two terrific brick houses. And the doctor, first thing he did is interesting. He built, our office used to be across the street from that, and he built a block building right behind the house that was a barber shop. And it was a barber shop into the late 70s. And it's been a few other things since, but that building is still there behind the building, and then he built the house next door to it. I'd like to take us from the 1950s when they remodeled things around town, according to our city records, all the way to 1975. And I got looking in 1975, Rubik's Cube came about. We had pet rocks. We had hip huggers and bell bottoms and leisure suits. We had 8-tracks. We had the disco. We had magic 8 balls you turned over and it would talk to you. Song of the year was Captain Tennille. Will love keep us together. On 8/10 of 1975, a fellow was born by the name of Will. And he tried to tell me the other night that he's going to be 44. But 43 is the age. And with that in mind, I thought he needed a little bit of a birthday cake on his birthday.
Thanks, Paul.
We each get one and you don't.
I don't get one.
Fine. You get your own, maybe.
That's what the matches are for. I'm like, why
And
are there matches?
And I'm apologetic to our
Well, that doesn't start the...
guests here tonight. I did buy some cakes for the staff, so we sit here without eating dinner a lot of nights, but there he goes.
Make a wish.
Should we sing?
Certainly.
Yeah? Will everybody indulge us? Come on, ready? Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Will. Happy birthday to you. Speech required, I think. I know.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
43, yep. Tomorrow. Not today, tomorrow. 43. Getting old. Thank you, Paul.
On your birthday, I was getting ready to watch my son play his first football game in high school. So we have a little age gap, but not much.
A little bit.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Paul. At this time, we will adjourn for the evening. Motion to adjourn?